This issue of Accord, it's the 30th, is called Still Time to Talk, Adaptation and Innovation in Peace Mediation. It's been a privilege and a challenge to work on it because the world of peace mediation is facing so many difficult challenges, and we've kind of taken a look at the different layers, starting with geopolitical fragmentation and competition and polarization, down through the fragmented nature of conflicts, and then at a third level of fragmentation, the fragmentation of the mediation actors out there. And it's almost a moment of kind of cognitive dissonance. There's been an enormous amount of expertise and knowledge built up on mediation in the last 30 years, and yet many of the models that we had worked on in the past are no longer appropriate. You don't see the big comprehensive peace agreements. You see much more fragmentation in the response. And the point of the volume was to draw on a really amazing range of authors with expertise as practitioners, as policymakers, as academics, as activists, and look at how mediation has and can adapt further, and what innovations have been done, and what kind of new things we need to be thinking about moving forward on mediation. And I think one of my main sort of conclusions is not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, is not starting or building on a lot of good practice, but also recognizing that the current moment requires change and adaptation and innovation in itself. It requires a really strong recommitment to the prioritization of political settlements, working at different levels, recognizing the benefits of the local, recognizing that most conflicts now can't be contained at a national level. You need to work across state borders, you need to work internationally. Partnerships of different kind, both with different kinds of mediators, but also with different areas of expertise as we bring in issues such as the digital realm, needing to make sure that mediation teams have the expertise that's current with today's challenges, so expertise on climate change, expertise on digital technology, thinking about, depending on the context, thinking about issues such as infectious disease or shipping. We look at the big shift towards kind of commercial and maritime issues in the mediation field. And I think another core thing that comes through the Accord is the diversity of the mediation actors, many different state actors particularly, many middle powers engaging in conflicts in their region, sometimes with different aspirations and goals for their end state. But within that, I think it's a key point we bring out is the need to find areas of consensus, reaffirm political settlements, reaffirm the value of international law and the UN Charter as basis for mediation, but perhaps also accept difference in worldviews and approaches, and that in this world you may not get all the outcomes you want. Certainly an area that's been quite contested and has been pushed back is questions of inclusion, though we see how important inclusion is and how much innovation there's been on inclusion in the different years. And I think that rather than despair, one of the main conclusions actually is there's plenty of really great work going on and plenty of grounds for more work, but we need to think very carefully about how that's structured and change our approaches to both what our ambitions might be and how we consider success.